The state agency that pays out unemployment insurance to millions of Californians has admitted that losses during the pandemic could climb into the tens of billions of dollars. The I-Team has heard from dozens of viewers outraged with how the Unemployment Department, or EDD, has left them hanging with confusing applications, jammed phone lines, and payments that never arrived. They say scammers have stolen their identities to apply for taxpayer-funded benefits they're not entitled to. And I uncovered that's putting legitimate claims in jeopardy.
It just makes you sick. You can't sleep. You wake up thinking about it early in the morning.
I'm not only angry, I'm scared. There's so much fear running through my body.
I can't get anywhere. Nobody will speak to me on the phone. There's no voice. There's no live voice.
This is uncalled for. What am I supposed to do?
These four Coachella Valley women have never met, but they all have something in common. Raise your hand if you have been the victim of fraud because of EDD. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of you. They say scammers stole their identities to file phony claims for unemployment benefits.
$22,000 that went to somebody in Covina.
But somebody used my employer, my social security number, everything, filed for unemployment, and then those $300, they just started that in January. They keep sending $300 a week, but that is on the fraudulent claim. It's not on mine.
Money keeps going into an account. It just keeps going. It's right now last time I talked, over $13,000.
Adding to Janet Jonassen's outrage, she says she recently got hit with a tax form from EDD demanding she pay income taxes on the fraudulent money.
It's still sitting in the bank, and I've contacted EDD and I've said it's not mine. I'm not paying taxes on it. There are people who need this money. I'm not eligible for this money.
Catherine Zanu is eligible for the money, but she recently discovered it disappeared from her account and her EDD debit card suspended.
It's such a fear that you cannot really describe to anyone. When someone comes in to your circle and fraudulently take over your life.
Raise your hand if you contacted EDD but did not get the help you needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of you.
It's very frustrating, especially if nobody can or will help you. It drives me nuts.
I don't know what to do about EDD. I can't get through to them, so I'm behind on back rent. So it would be nice if they could get my account together.
We tried to get answers from EDD, but it declined our request for an interview. Instead, the department sent the I-Team a statement which reads in part, "The EDD is committed to assisting Californians who may have been victims of identity theft," saying the agency tried to stop tax forms from going to identity theft victims. They shared the number to a call center and say they've increased staffing to help people, adding, "If we find they were a victim of fraud, they will receive an amended form to mitigate tax liability." Let me ask you point blank, how big of a mess is EDD?
Oh, well, a big mess is an understatement. It is a disaster, seems like it's an understatement.
Chad Mays is one of several state assembly members who recently introduced a slew of bills. His proposed bill would streamline EDD's online forms and the ability for applicants to fix any mistakes. Is EDD doing enough to help people?
You know, there's been an awful lot of talk about helping people, but at the end of it all, it's that they're not. People are calling us saying that they're homeless and they still can't get the benefits that they deserve, that they've paid into. California's government has failed Californians.
Another bill would give recipients a direct deposit option instead of Bank of America EDD debit cards. And it would require Bank of America, whose contract with the state expires in June, to add chip technology for more secure cards. Other proposals include permanently requiring EDD to cross-check claims with incarceration records, a previous mishap that led to 800 million tax dollars stolen.
We have to do something because there's millions of Californians who are depending on it.
Are you hopeful that something will be done soon?
I am very hopeful. People need their money. I mean, they have to get this resolved.
Lawmakers are also pushing a $55 million budget proposal to help a law enforcement task force tackle fraud.
We have to ensure that those fraudulent cases are investigated. How did that happen so that it doesn't occur again? It's just not right that people who deserve to be receiving their EDD compensation are not, and then those that don't have.
Raise your hand if your situation with EDD is having a major impact on your life. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of you. A recent state auditor's report says EDD may have paid more than 500,000 fraudulent claims using stolen identities. But these ladies warn that number could rise since many people won't discover their victims until they receive the tax form from EDD.
If they did it once, they can do it again. And if it happened to me, it has happened to somebody else.
All 3 Valley State Assembly members are urging anyone who has issues with EDD to contact their offices for help. We have also posted the full statement from EDD on our website, including links to several resources for anyone to report EDD fraud, incorrect tax forms, and stolen identities.
Well, it seems like there's bipartisan rage about this anyway, with members from both sides of the aisle. So given that, what's the timeline for some of these bills to make it through Sacramento and maybe be signed into law?
Well, John, normally when bills are introduced this time of year, they have a chance to be signed into law in the early fall, but lawmakers are pushing for these set of proposals to be included in the budget process for this spring, which would certainly speed things up and get bills on the governor's desk for his signature by June of this year.
Okay, and for these 4 women, though, it can't come soon enough
Absolutely.
for something to happen up in Sacramento. Thank you, Peter. And do you have a tip you want the I-Team to investigate? Well, tell us about it. Email us at iteam@kesq.com or call the KESQ newsroom.